What's up, your girl? I didn't mean to say. It's your girl, MJ. Okay, we got some good vibes over here. AKA the Barefoot Hooper. Okay, I wanted to kind of just share my my spiritual awakening in a nutshell. And watch this. When I sit down, it's gonna light up. Oh, wanted to hop on here, spread good vibes, spread positive energy and uplifting spiritual way. Happy Friday. I don't know when this will upload, but I'm telling you, happy Friday. You're amazing, you're light, and you're loved. And, you know, we gonna get into it. We gonna dive down a path. I'm gonna try to, you know, make it short and sweet, but I can't make no promises. Let's get it. I'm okay. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm a little nervous sharing my spirituality. I didn't mean to say that. I'm nervous sharing my spiritual journey because in this world, it's just this world is full of judgment. And so I just view the world so differently, and my conversations and the way I present my energy to people and the way I allow others to present it to me, it matters. And before, it used to not really matter to me. I wanted to kind of, you know, talk about it and spread the awareness and share my journey of myself and, you know, a very important person that means a lot to me in my life right now, Thomas. And so we're just going to kind of talk about, you know, what we basically kind of went through together. You know, hopefully it kind of aligns and helps you guys navigate through your own spiritual journey that you guys may facing now, may face in the future, or you're watching this and you understand what I'm talking about because you have experienced it. Okay. It all started when, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not too sure how many of you guys know, you know, the gist of what had happened, but before COVID, I was in Athens, Greece, playing basketball, playing professional, and COVID basically hit, so I had to come home. In the process of me being home, a lot of just uncertainty kind of hit me, and because COVID put us in a quarantine mode, I didn't necessarily know what I was doing with my life. Deep depth of the person that I wanted to be and the person that I seen when I looked in the mirror. I knew I wanted to play basketball. I just didn't know how I could make it a living, stay close to home so that I don't miss out on, you know, family growth. And, you know, I'm very family oriented. So I have 3 little sisters, and being able to see them grow just meant the world to me. And so I wanted to stay home. I didn't want to keep going overseas to build a name for myself. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, during quarantine, I had to find myself like bad. And during the process of doing that, I didn't know where I was really going, I guess. And I was very just lost. I was basically a lost soul, trying to find a way. I was trying to find my way. There was just, I don't know, it was just like, so it was like this, then that, then this, you know what I'm saying? I had to like, being overseas, you have to build, you know, like I was straight out of college. I played in a very low country the first year. So the pay is not amazing. And so, yes, I'm living my dreams going overseas, but I'm barely making it. I want to take care of my family. I want to show them that you can chase your dreams and still be impactful to those around you and just be happy overall. Well, that shit, I didn't mean to say shit. Ships like sunk basically once COVID hit because I had to find a way to make money on top of having fun and being able to depict that image of happiness by just having fun. And when I was trying to have fun, you know, God made TikTok come about. And so that was basically kind of the first kickoff, you know what I'm saying? And then I was going to get deep. When TikTok came about, you know, I seen everybody doing these challenges and dances and all this and that. I'm not a dancer. I'll try. You feel me? You'll always see me trying to do something. I'm a hooper. And so one day I was drinking coffee or eating breakfast or something. And I was watching a TikTok. Mind you, I'm depressed because I can't hoop and I can't work. So everyone's just everyone is just funky and in their own little moods, you know? So this little app, the TikTok, was the only thing saving me. And I don't know about y'all, but I was down bad. This little app, TikTok app, I'm just scrolling, you know, scrolling, and I see this like that kind of thing on the app. And, you know, something like in my head told me to dribble to beat, like just to dribble to the beat, dribble to that beat. I got up my ass up and I just did that. Video went crazy. I reached so many people and I didn't even know why. I didn't know how, but it was astonishing to say the least, because I didn't really feel like I was even giving y'all all that I could do. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised that that small little thing that I did reached millions of people. You know, it reached a lot of people because I was barefoot, but like, I don't like feet. But you feel me? Back in the day, shoes wasn't invented. And again, you know, as the story goes on, you'll understand that my purpose is to spread God. And yeah, so I didn't understand it at the time. At the time, I wasn't even really getting that many views or anything. Like I said, I was depressed. I was dashing, just delivering food at the time, because quarantine, you was making a lot, you know, you could have made a lot of money because nobody was leaving and everyone was just so scared of this virus. But like me, I wanted to, I don't know, it's something in me that I guess I just can't settle. And if I feel like I could do better than my circumstances, I 100% will. I don't know if, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how many other people there are like that, but I was dashing during quarantine because I wanted to, where I was in Antioch, I don't know, I was just trying to make a way for myself. I didn't know where I was going, but I was going. You know what I'm saying? After that situation kind of transpired, I basically told myself that, whoa, I guess God is basically telling me that, you know, you could make it doing this. Because after that video posted, not only did it get tremendous amount of views, but it gave me a tremendous amount of followers. And at the time, I didn't know why people was following me. I didn't know what they wanted to see. I didn't know what I was supposed to do to keep them, you know, and to keep, you know, like the eyes on me, I guess, to say. It was just it was new. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was starstruck. So many views, and I was like, damn. And I started just going crazy, trying to do everything on the app. And I kind of lost myself, I guess you could say that. I basically came to the understanding that I'm going to create basketball videos barefoot, and I'm going to dash, and I'm going to just combine them together and just try to make a way happen for myself. During this transition, you know, I was having a lot of family headbutts and just a lot of family drama that kind of steered me in, I don't want to say a wrong direction, but ultimately the right direction, because, you know, now I'm here and I couldn't be happier. Yes, you know, it's hard being alone from family, but it's so much better being only 6 hours away opposed to 12 hours ahead, and not being able to connect with the people that you love and like just talk about what, you know, is going on. I never got to talk to my parents about the games. I never got to complain to them about my coach. You know, like the things that you want to talk to your parents about, I didn't get to do that. Things that they're trying to get through, there was just a communication barrier. And so I am so happy to just be 6 hours apart. Not 6 hours apart, just a 6 hour drive opposed to 12 hours ahead in the day. I don't have to like get into the detail of, you know, what happens during this family, you know, drama or whatever, but a lot of things have transpired. I've already told you that I was kicked out of 2 homes. And this was during that time that I was dashing and creating videos. I personally felt alone. I didn't feel like I could call anybody, and I felt like my family basically kind of, you know, just left me, abandoned. I just felt like they abandoned me. Quarantine started to die down and people were coming out of their homes, and I was still trying to find my way as an entrepreneur. And you know, in this generation, it's so hard to be an entrepreneur and chase your dreams because you have so many people judging you because you don't have a regular 9 to 5. So you don't have a consistent income. And so God just basically told me to believe in it until you see it. And in the process, I just felt like my family, you know, not all of my family members, but I just felt, you know, torn because it just hurt me. You know, like I said at the beginning, I've always been family oriented, and just the stories that I heard that were told about me, it hurt me to the core, because I know the kind of person I am, and I know the energy that I carry. So sometimes, you know, we get caught up in trying to prove a point when someone has an altered idea of us, or sometimes it's right and it bothers us. In this case, I just didn't see, you know, where this energy was coming from. But I'm gonna keep going. When I basically got kicked out, I didn't know where to go. My life situation and circumstances were so, at the time when I had a place to stay, I didn't think of my life circumstances, I guess. I just seen my vision. And I didn't really see the way that my family was living. And so I was just kind of, I was blindsided, to say the least. I was able to move into another family member and get on my feet. And that's why I'm here today, and I'm able to share my story. But now we gonna get into the spiritual. Oops. I'm sorry. I don't know, God. I don't know why I can't ever not touch the mic. No, that was just this family drama and what had happened prior to my spiritual awakening. I was depressed. I was down bad. I just got kicked out. Okay. And then my family member saved me. And my family member saved me. I'm gonna stop playing. My family member saved me. And I'm here. And now we're gonna get into more detail, okay? I moved in. At this time, you know, there's not enough rooms for me to have my own. So yeah, I was sleeping on a couch, but it's okay because I grew through it. At the time, it was the only thing I had. And I'm so thankful for my Mother Teresa. She's I always call her my second mom. And it's just so funny that, you know, Mother Teresa, hang on this couch, and I'm just starting to read a lot of spiritual books, and I'm starting to look at the world completely different. I guess you could say when I didn't have anything, I didn't know where to turn. So I turned inward, and I wanted to find myself. Through the process, I lost myself because I was so full of anger, and I just wanted to, I wanted revenge. I'm keeping a buck. First of all, I had the revenge mentality, but it wasn't in terms of like, I want to hurt them or I want to do something to their stuff. No, it was more of like, all right, I'm going to take that. And then, you know, when I get here, just don't call me. And that was going to be my revenge. Like I'm no longer accessible to you, my baby. And so I started making a name for myself, you know, and I was able to, start making a living progressively and in the right direction. Mama number one, Roxanne Johnson, I love you so much. That woman so much. My Mother Teresa, she took care of me. I was able to find my way without stressing out and paying anything, and just putting my integrity before anything, and just seeing what I seen in my head, if that makes sense. Started, you know, getting more followers. People started messing with me, you know, and I started flourishing in the right direction. And that's when God basically told me, like, girl, you don't have to like live in like anger. It's because now when you live in anger and you get what you want, those relationships that you basically broke, or you feel that are broken, you no longer can go to because you didn't mend the relationship. And so it was a lot of understanding from my part to let go of what was done to me, understand why it happened, and understand where I was going. And in order for me to get to where I wanted to be, I had to accept what I've been through. You get what I'm saying? But during this process of making a name for myself, sleeping on the couch, and basically just busting my ass and just trying to get out of Antioch, California, I made a trip to see my best friend, Talia Mons. She is another huge impact on my spiritual journey, along with my little sister, Penelope Johnson. They told me they spread God all the time. Like, it was almost like they just wouldn't stop talking about him. It would irritate me because at the time I don't want to say I didn't believe in God, but I didn't know what I believed in. I just believed I wanted to hoop. And I just wanted to hoop and just find the love of my life. That was all Marian Johnson was worried about. These two beautiful souls are always talking about God and just talking about dreams and talking about numbers and, oh my God, this makes sense now. Like, that's why I went through this. And like just putting a puzzle together that I didn't even see. While I'm at Mother Teresa's house, me and my best friend, Pooh, I call her Pooh. Talia is her name, but y'all can't call her Pooh. Talia is basically, we set a trip for me to come out there. Yes, I'm still very depressed, so my aura and my energy, it's still the same, but I'm what you want to call just an exister. I was trying to find, passion in what I was doing, but at the same time, I didn't understand because I didn't see anything. During the progress, I didn't see it. Sometimes when we're going through the process, it's so hard for us to see all the progress that we're making because we want to look at all the reasons why it's so hard to progress. I'm still low energy, but I plan to come to LA, just make a trip up here. Mind you, I knew I wanted to be in LA. I just didn't know when. Before COVID hit, I was traveling. Before I went to Athens, I was traveling to LA every single weekend to play in one game. And I lived in Northern California, and I would drive 6 hours every weekend after working to play basketball. And so I knew LA was where I wanted to be. I was driving 6 hours. I love basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I was down to do that. Before I actually moved, I made a trip to see my best friend who moved from Indiana to LA. We had, dreams to live out here. When I went out there, mind you, Talia, she was very connected and she always talked about God. She, used to tell me that she would hear things. At the time, I thought the woman was crazy. I was like, what the hell you mean? I thought sister was a little crazy, but nonetheless, she was my best friend. So I trusted her. I believed her enough. And especially, man, when you broke, and I don't mean financially, I mean you just broken on the inside. You'll fall for anything. You could be so depressed you ain't eat anything. And you'll believe a nigga when he say, oh, damn, you look really good. Like, you, bitch, what? Thanks. What she was saying, I basically just started to believe it because I didn't know who was telling me to, just record and just have fun living life. But I thought it was me. I thought it was me holding on to the dream and just fighting for something that I seen so hard. Fight so hard for. As she's telling me these things, about God and the signs that she's seeing and, how he's telling her to keep going and anything that she wants to do, she can, basically do it. I wanted to see more. I'm going to keep it a buck. I wanted to drive out there because I started to, as I was in my depressive state, I was already connected to butterflies, but for my grandpa and a best friend that had passed on. And so I always, and still to this day, love butterflies. I'll sit there, I'll stop walking, I'll start talking to them. I don't know, it just does something to me. I've always had that connection. To say that, it's God or something, I didn't know. So I would just tell her, oh, I see my grandpa, a butterfly, yellow butterfly, ran Seville, orange butterfly. And so I've always been kind of connected in nature. I guess you could say that. I would share that with Talia and let her know, that I'm still kind of holding on to my grandpa and those who have passed on, like I know even when even though I don't necessarily, pray to a God or talk about God, I know I'm always praying to something. I just didn't know how to connect with her because I didn't ever say it was a God. She's telling me about her experiences, and so we set a trip. Drive down there, not for basketball this time, but just to see my best friend and try to have like a spiritual conversation. Get out there. It is me, her cousin Josh, and her best friend Taylor. Talia knows that I'm going through my own, personal issues at the time. Taylor and Josh did not. There, we smoked a little something, whatever. Some spiritual, Mary Jake. We started to just, talk about God openly. We're just sitting in a big circle, and we were just talking about life. And in my situation, I felt more alone because I felt like, none of these people know what it's like being me. So a part of me didn't want to share my story. Talia knew, but I didn't want Taylor and Josh, nothing against them. I didn't feel comfortable sharing the story that I got kicked out of 2 homes by the people that I love. I didn't want them to think that it was my fault either. I didn't share my story to my family. And, kind of Mother Teresa was, and my mother, my second mom, Mother Teresa, and my number 1 mom, she believed me too. But everyone else in the family, they just kind of started depicting me as, I don't know, just something that I've never been defined as. Don't get me wrong, like, if I'm feeling like I'm being, treated a certain way, I'm gonna speak up. I'm not gonna not speak up. So, to them, I shouldn't have spoken up. To me, I felt like it was the right thing to do. And it ended up just causing my life to come to shambles. And so with that being said, I didn't want to share that with Josh and Taylor at the time because I didn't know them fully. And I knew that they didn't know me. And I didn't want them to judge me off rip. And so as we started talking more and more in this conversation, this circle conversation, it was beautiful energy. I don't want to lie about that. It was just beautiful, uplifting, and I could just feel the positivity just brewing, you know what I'm saying? Okay, and so this is where it gets kind of, we turn the page and it gets a little more deep. Talia just basically kind of just asks a question. We're going down this paper of, what we're battling with at the moment. The challenge was to just put one word in your head and we could talk about it. Josh's was confidence. He had confidence in his head, okay? And Taylor's was love, I believe. Mine was forgiveness. So, mind you, we did not share what we were thinking. We did not share what we were thinking. Nobody. I didn't tell Talia, I didn't tell Josh, I didn't tell Taylor what I was thinking. We just sat there and came up with a thought, what we were battling with in the moment. And in that life situation, like in that moment, in that time during life, how did you feel? What are you struggling with the most? And again, Josh, confidence, Taylor, love. Mine was forgiveness. I was trying to not only forgive others, but I was trying to learn how to forgive myself because I'm not an angry person, but boy, I just feel like when people do me so dirty, it is so hard for me to kind of forgive that because I see it as I would never, ever, 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 ever do that to you. So how on earth could you possibly think to do that to me? The thoughts, the feelings, the challenge. Talia basically was the host of the conversation. Why? Because we all felt like she was more connected to God than any of us. Like I knew I was like basically the black sheep. I know Josh went to church. I know Taylor lived with Talia at the time. So they've always been, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there and she asked us to put the thing in our head, like the thought, the feeling. And she said, if you guys want to talk about it, by all means. With that being said, that's where it just got silent, you guys. It just got so quiet because none of us felt okay enough to share what we were all dealing with at the time. When I look back on it, it's so crazy because we all face the same things just in different times of our life, in different periods of our life. Talia is just basically waiting for us to talk about what it is we're battling, right? And so she starts saying, I could tell you guys what each of you guys are thinking right now, but I need permission. Nobody responded. Okay, sitting there kind of just looking at each other, and mind you, we high as hell. That's going on. I get enough courage to tell her to tell me what I'm thinking, and she told me. It shocked me, and telling the story and sharing the story now, like, it gives me goosebumps anyways, because I had no idea how she got that. She looked at me and said, forgiveness. And I sank in my chair, in the couch. I was like, she absolutely is right. I'm not even going to argue with her. How would I look arguing with her when I know what I was just thinking? I sat back. And then Josh said, it's so funny because when you build up enough courage to share things or ask for things, you'll be surprised at how many other people you encourage to do the same thing. And so after Talia gave me mine, Josh asked for his, and she told him, and she was accurate. And then Taylor ended up asking, and she was accurate with that. So that's not even all of my spiritual, that's not my whole message, what I wanted to share with you. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little teaser of what's next. She told us all of that, and it was a great night, wonderful, very emotional, very just full of just, I don't know. It was amazing. And I stayed the night there, woke up in the morning, and got ready and was on my way home. Well, I kind of stayed. I didn't leave right in the morning because my journey back home to Northern California I got there around like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. I spent the day with Talia, and, got some coffee and was just talking about God. My ass is convinced. She read my mind, and I didn't tell her what was on it, but she told me what was on it. And so from then on, I just kind of was like, I'm listening, By me listening, I was basically just telling myself that there's more to this world that you see, and the thoughts that you generate in your head, like, I don't know, but there's just like, you know what I'm saying? We only use 3% of our brain. And so where is all the other percent? I know her reading my mind wasn't part of that 3%. Can't tell me that. You just won't. It's just out of this world, and it was just godly to me. You just look at life differently than what you've looked at it before and growing up. I was stuck because now I'm feeling like I'm juggling so much at this moment on my way back home to Antioch, California. On my drive back, y'all, it gets so crazy because I haven't even mentioned my best friend Thomas Nelson yet. And I will, because he's a part of this story, okay? Just listen. On my drive back, I don't know why, but I was just, I was just driving and just thinking hard about my life, what I wanted in life. Remembering that he told me to pick up a basketball, and, that I got kind of famous a little bit on the internet just by chasing my dreams and showing, that you could believe in yourself. And so all of this is going through my head, in the back of my head. I had not just got out of it was a loving relationship, but it also wasn't very healthy. And I'm okay to admit that. It wasn't healthy for either of us at all. And so, I had just gotten out of that. I used to pray too. I didn't know who, but I would just always pray, like pray. I don't know if this is the man that I'm supposed to be with. Like, just give me signs. Like, again, I don't know if y'all do this. Like, even though you don't know if God's real, or if you do know God's real, there's just something that we always resort to when we want the job, when we want to make the game-winning shot, or, we want someone to come back into our life. Like, we start praying. I don't know who we pray to. Well, I know who we pray to, but, in the moment I didn't. And so on my drive home, I'm just analyzing everything that went on in my life and understanding that God was with me through it all, through the tears, through the joy, through the defeats. Like, he was always there. And so once I started putting my thoughts and my energy, 1 second, driving, and I'm thinking about all of this stuff, right? And I get so just euphoric. Like, first, I feel sad because I feel like I neglected my father. I felt like I let him down because, I just felt like there was things that I should have, let go of a long time ago, or entrusted in him, things that I should have just understood a little more in depth, or just talked to him more and just acknowledged him. I was so sad that the reason I got connected to him was because I was so down bad. I was apologizing to him on my drive back. I was just like crying, y'all. Like, when you watching a sad movie like the Titanic, or like Love and Basketball, when mommy, makes you want to, drop a tear or something, and you be like those like that I was driving like that. I'm just, crying, just asking him to forgive me because I felt like a failure. I just couldn't understand that he forgave me. Like, who does that? I was crying, and I was listening to music already. So I was just, I'm so sorry. Like, just love me. I'm sorry. I'm never gonna let you down. Like, I'm yours. As I'm crying, and there's music playing, and my nose is running, I'm snotty, I'm so ugly. Like, he probably laughing like, this bitch ugly. Just so happy that I got reconnected to my father, because I don't know how I got disconnected. And so when he started playing music, this dude, he's not a dude. Entity, this love, this light. He told me, as I'm driving, I'm crying, and this music is playing. I was not paying attention at first. He told me in my head, like, I know y'all can call me crazy if you want, but shit, at least you calling. He told me, now pay attention. That's what he said in my head. I didn't tell myself to pay attention. I was crying. Why would I tell myself to pay attention? So, I did that. I started paying attention. For some reason, I knew, I don't know how, but for some reason I knew he was talking about the music. So I started listening to it. And he put on the song, They Gonna Love Me For My Ambition. Well, that's not what it's called. It's called Ambition. The crazy thing is, I'm a fast forward a little, 2 years. This past year, I was in a music video with Wale.
If you place any bets, it's on me. Yeah, you only get one shot, not two. But either way, I'm winning if it's not you. If it's not
very hard, baby, from all that I've been through. I only fear of God, baby, that is essential. It's hard to get involved knowing we'd hate the results, cause I love you.
But either way, I'm winning if it's not you. If it's not you.
The day I was driving back, and connecting and giving my soul to him, to God, he told me, to pay attention, and Ambition was the song that came on. I instantly started crying because it took me back, and I started having huge nostalgia of when I used to play this song. I was in high school. I was 16, 17 years old, trying to chase a dream and chase a basketball. And so I used to wake up before school every day and listen to this song, and shoot. And I was shooting for something. I didn't know what I was shooting for, but I was shooting for something. And he just was basically reminding me on my drive back, and he told me to pay attention, and Ambition what came on. And so it's ironic that I was in a music video with Wale. I was the main girl in the song, and I am now being able to play basketball barefoot, and y'all like it. And I just love basketball that much. And so Ambition was the first song. That was the first song that he put on. Now I'm bawling. Now I can't even see the road. It's getting so, the energy in my car felt so high and good that I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I was locked in, and he had my attention. After that song, he put on the song Be Kind by Housley or Hosley. I don't really know how to say her name, but that song, you know, my phone was on shuffle, so he was playing just all these other songs and told me to pay attention to it. Be kind. And so that's just kind of the kind of person I am. I've always grew up being kind. I could be a bit, but I just always operate in kind ways, and I just try to treat people with fairness and how they would want to be treated. I mean, I didn't mean to say that. I treat them how I would want them to treat me is basically what I said. The lights came on. That song kind of just hit home for me because, again, when I was just in LA, I was battling with forgiveness, and I felt like I had to forgive my whole family. I didn't feel like they loved me as much as they were claiming to. What I got from that was to no matter how shitty your life may be, or you know how moody you might be, or whatever may be transpiring in your life and in that daily situation, to just be kind. Because at the end of the day, you never know what will come back. And people always say, you know, what you put into the universe will come back to you. And so if you put anger and all that negative shit into your life and in front of you, that's what's gonna come back. It's like a boomerang. He was telling me to be kind and to understand that, you know, the people that I'm trying to forgive right now are battling with their own insecurities, and so it's not their fault. Ultimately, he was basically just telling me that, you know, to understand and to come to forgive, and to know that they don't know what they're doing necessarily, to just forgive it, to just be kind. And so that is absolutely what I did. And I forgive everything. You know, at the end of the day, as much as I forgive, I do hope that I am forgiven as well, because, you know, the situation wasn't the best. It didn't display my best characteristics, but it definitely helped me grow, and I've learned from it for sure. And then now the last song that he put, song came on, you know, I was bawling even more, because then I felt like I failed him again, because then I was like, damn, like I was mean, I guess, or, you know, you didn't want me to operate like this. You didn't want me to like just cut them out, like to not forgive them. You didn't want me to do that. You want me to still forgive them, but just protect myself. At the time, I didn't understand that. It was, nigga, oops, I didn't mean to say that. It was more of like, you know, you're X'd out now, and I don't have to give you any more of my time. But God wanted me to pay attention to, don't do that, you know? And so I'd learned, like I said out loud, if this is real, put on my favorite basketball song. Off rip, put my favorite basketball song on. Nobody was in the car, and I didn't touch my phone either. But that's what I said out loud. I know what song is my favorite basketball song. He does too. Just wanted to see if he was gonna do it. He damn did it. Like, what the hell? He put my favorite basketball song on, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all how many songs I have in my phone. Okay. I have 71 hours worth of songs on this this motherfucking thing. And I'll take some hours off. I'll say I was at, because I've added some songs, I'll say I was at 62 hours when he chose my favorite song out of 62 hours worth of songs, y'all. He chose my favorite song as soon as I asked for it. And once he put my favorite basketball song on, it was a wrap. I just kind of, if I could have, like, I could have just, like, you know, when people just drop the mic, or like somebody does something, you're just like, damn. And you just like you just fall out. I could have just fell out the car. Like, that's how amazing and powerful that was. I said it and he did it. I was just so stunned and shocked. Like, how could I be so dumb, ignorant to the fact of your existence and the power that you can do, if I ask. And so I don't know, it was just crazy to me. After that happens, y'all, he told me to go show Thomas what he showed me. At the time, I thought it was just the music, you know, like just the music, like just tell him about the music and how, you know, I put your favorite song on. Like, just tell him that. A little summary of Thomas. Thomas has always been a huge family friend of ours, of the family, and he's always just been around. So him and I got really, you know, connected when I was we were both, you know, just going through our own life circumstances, and just, we were there for one another. And so already I planned on already showing, you know, my best friend everything that had happened with Talia and Taylor and Josh. Like, I already had that all in the back of my head. But God also knew that I wanted to go home and go to sleep, because I had already been driving for 6 hours, and it was like 10 o'clock or something. And I was going to be home maybe in an hour or so before he told me to go show Thomas. And so I was just kind of like, I don't know. I was, you know, I was excited to show him, but I was tired. And so it was kind of like, it's kind of like a test to see if I was going to do it. So, you know, I did it, you know, because that's my father. Once I got that in my head, I said, okay. And I basically texted Thomas and asked him what he was doing and seeing if I could link up with him and we could talk. So when we linked, I got back at home and we linked up. I just started telling him everything. It was probably too much information for him to even like collect, you know, but it was so profound and so impactful that, and mind you, we were kind of just in the cuts, and just talking about the spirituality and stuff. And it was late. So, you know, a cop seen the car and just pulled up on us, and started asking us a lot of questions. When the cop kind of approached the car, you know, our upbringing, we don't like cops. It's okay because, you know, one of us in the moment was level-headed. I love Thomas, but, you know, sometimes he has an anger problem, and we weren't doing anything wrong. And so he had every right to feel the way he felt. But I just didn't think it was the right moment to do that because we were talking about God. And the cop also he wasn't like, you know, yelling at us or doing anything, but Thomas was just, it was like that 2-year-old, like, why? You know, not 2-year-old, 3-year-old, whatever you want to say. Whenever y'all started talking, I was talking when I was 3 months old, but you know, he was just more of like, why? Like, why do we have to do this and all this and that? And so, I was trying to calm down the situation. And so in the midst of doing that, mind you, I had just told him what God did, what, you know, the experience I had with Talia, how she read my mind, and basically everything. In the process of that, you know, the cop was taking down our name. And so he asked Thomas's name, and then he asked me my name. So when I gave him my name, I said, you know, my name is Maran Johnson. And so most people don't know how to spell that, because usually it's like Marianne or like, that's it. Like, there's no Maran. And so Maran originated from half of my father's name and half of my mother's name put together. So I didn't expect him to know how to spell it. So this dude, he's, you know, he has a notepad, and he's looking at me, he asked me, and then he says, you know, how do you spell it? And then before I went to go spell it, he told me, and he said Maranne. Yo, I was shook because don't nobody know how to spell my name. When he spelled my name right, it was like basically divine intervention to me, because it was God confirming that I was in the right moment at the right time, and I did exactly what he wanted me to do. And that's how the cop spelled my name right. And so I just felt so happy kind of in the moment. The cop I was so surprised. How did you know how to spell my name? And then he just kind of looked at me and Thomas and was like, you know, not all of us cops are bad. And then, you know, he told us to have a good night, and that was that. To me, that was my sign of validation that I did God's work. He wanted me to show Thomas, and I was supposed to be there to kind of help that situation not, you know, escalate to a bad one. And I was there to experience someone. Nobody has ever spelled my name right, ever in my life. And I had never met that coach. I had never met that cop ever either. So that within itself was just so powerful to me. And, you know, like me and Thomas, we were kind of shook. Like, already we had a big story that was already kind of happening that I just experienced in LA, and hearing something in my head tell me to tell him. So that was already kind of big, you know. The cop was just kind of icing on the cake. As we started, you know, going through the process of understanding this world and what it is, and what we could potentially do with it, and what life we could potentially create for ourselves as well as our loved ones. Everything just started to make sense for us. But I wanted to just kind of expose my spirituality to you guys, what I went through in order to have my spiritual awakening happen for me. Thomas and I are still going through, you know, the spiritual awakenings together. We're chasing our dreams. You know, he's a great skater. And so I'm trying to just see what God intended for this. We're going to just be having fun and spreading God any way we can. And so if you guys tune in, we love you. Even if you don't, we still love you, because, you know, we're all connected in some way. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that there's more to what you guys see. And also, if you guys have a dream, man, chase that for real. Hold on to it with so much power, because you never know when your time is up, and you just don't want to, you know, you don't want to miss out on what you could have potentially did because you let go of a passion that you once, you know, treasured so much. I love you guys. God loves you. Go spread your smile. Happy Friday. I hope my spiritual, you know, journey and story kind of helps you through yours, and could kind of, I don't know, help you, you know, understand it a little better. There's been more. Like, it's an infinite amount of different experiences throughout this journey. So this was just one message and one little small story that I wanted to share with you guys of why me and Thomas are doing what we're doing, you know. So God told me to do it, so that's what I'm doing. And I kind of want to bring you guys along with it and just spread uplifting energy and positivity and just God amongst it all, and show you guys that you guys could definitely do it. And even though you can't see it, I promise it's there. You just have to believe in it until it is. Just keep going. And I don't know what else to say. I could probably chop this though. Just blank, bro. I want to, you know, I don't want to say I don't read the Bible too much, but I know some stories. And I know that Thomas was a disciple that didn't believe. I'm just letting you know that pay attention to what's in front of you. If you see it up here, you can make it happen. Just believe in it until it becomes true, okay? You guys, in a few days, few weeks, hopefully I don't upload another one, but, you know, God just be wanting me to upload stuff. So your soul is radiating and it's needed in the world, okay? So go out there, spread your smile, spread that power and light that God put inside you, and go be great. Mwah.